how did the Secodo production situation come about, and how was it like producing their content and working with them? Was it like a very great experience, like in that sense?
Yeah, Secodo, I can't remember who had the idea originally. It's me and my two partners, and actually Secodo is kind of all our last names, the first two letters put together. It became a running joke where when we were trying to do it, every name that we could think of was trademarked already. Whether it was some odd shop in the middle of nowhere or something in the city, like it just was taken. And my two partners, Jacob Ciro and Ryan Cowan. Secodo is Ciro SC, Cowan CO, and then my last name Downey Dio. Secodo, and originally started as a joke, and then we realized this actually kind of sounds somewhat professional. It's one of those obscure words that I don't know we thought would work out long term. So on trademarking that and starting a business. I guess it started with mainly me and Ryan. We both Jacob took the marketing program at Sheridan, and me and Ryan took the film program. And great people we worked with at Sheridan, but you find a lot of people want to be the director, DOP. Not many people want to be the producer. And me and Ryan actually really enjoyed being the producer. And we worked on a few projects together. And I can't remember the exact terms of how it came to be, but ended up talking, the three of us, while hanging. Jacob just over. Thought, why don't we just come together, create something? And Jacob was a great aspect because while he didn't study film, he had a marketing background. So he kind of was that secret weapon. We didn't really know too much about that industry directly, but when you come together, really worked out there. We started off definitely with more of a, I want to say passion projects, like, everyone's doing it for free, or if anything, we're spending our own money. The first big video we ever did was for an artist called Chromac, and he's gonna have to forgive me. I think he changed his name. He was an EDM artist, and it was solely friends, everyone kind of doing it for free or out of pocket, all that stuff. We got this old house, I remember. It was an EDM video, so it was a lot of dancing, all that. We used glow-in-the-dark face paint, and we had it basically designed. Our DP was this guy named Mark Smith, and the director was Jordan Davies, and great combo. They had this idea of kind of just panning, like it's one giant room, but different sections of the room are kind of different tones. So it was a lot of fun to kind of jump between this green room, red room, and blue room, but it's all the same big room, but just when you spin the camera, it gives that illusion. And that was a lot of fun. Jumping onto the first kind of big label thing we ever did was, I don't know if you know the band Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the Closer to the Picture music video. Same team again. It was Mark and Jordan were directing this. But Mark had a relationship personally with Valley. And I don't know, we kind of made a good impression. They gave us a shot, and this is before they kind of blow up. Now I think Valley's touring the States consistently, doing big shows. I'm pretty sure they were at the Danforth last time they were in Toronto. But Closer to the Picture, we got a budget, but we wanted to make this the big shebang. So everyone kind of took a huge pay cut. We're going to put it all in there. Everyone wanted their resume pieces. And we pulled a lot of favors, a lot of friends. Like, if you watch the video, almost all the extras were kind of the acting class at Sheridan, because I already had that one connection from going to the acting class. So we went in there, pitched it to them, got a lot of friends willing to come out. Kind of funny. Fun fact, the couple kissing at the beginning of that video, the male in that is Sue Casa, a rapper actually as well. And I was calling out everyone I ever knew, and Sue Casa was willing to come down and be in it with his girlfriend at the time. And I just remember, like, the whole time, like, he's in this kind of indie pop rock, and like it does not match his music at all. But I don't know, he was a trooper and pulled it out for the whole day. But we rented this old mansion in Hamilton, got all these extras, got a smoke machine, huge crew. And again, we were shooting for the stars type deal. Like, we wanted to do something special with this money. So I remember we did like a 12-hour day, and we went hard, a little bit overtime. And I don't know, it turned out really well. Really enjoyed the video. The label seemed to be happy with it. And kind of that was the starting point that really launched us. Like, after that, we had a label under our belt, so we could finally go to actual big labels and go like, here's our proof we know what we're doing for the most part. So that was really great. From there, like, I don't know, just odd here and there, like videos when we can. We've done for Ollie, we did Miles Costello, and Miles Costello is a great video as well, because that was a good story just doing that. It really comes down, like, you probably know this, but the connections really do help, like just being a part of the scene, because that video required a movie theater.
Yeah.
and movie theaters cost an arm and a leg to rent.
Yeah.
And I knew a promoter, Matt, I'm going to say his last name wrong, Almeida, and him and his partner had bought the Grand Gerard movie theater, and he's a hip hop promoter.
Yeah.
And I kind of DM'd him like, man,
Yeah.
remember when I shot some shows? I'd love to rent out this theater. And it wasn't even ready yet. They were
Yeah.
still painting it. So they gave us a great price.
Yeah.
I remember we showed up and like, he's still setting up the place and like, it wasn't even open, middle of nowhere. But
Yeah.
I don't know, without that connection, we've never would have got a movie theater off our budget. So it really
Yeah.
shows like, I don't know, be friendly guys, like young creatives out there, young filmmakers. You forget like networking is everything. Like
Yeah.
going to events, it sounds silly, but just being able to say you said hello to someone, they'll remember you as that nice guy that said hello. And I don't know, years from now, like it's better to be that nice guy that said hello than just complete unknown. So I guess I can say is go to every event you can and just, I don't know, shake a lot of hands, guys, be polite, be that nicest guy in the room because, it'll take you places.
Nah, I definitely know what you mean. And, I was like researching a little bit too, like with people like Ollie, like I think he's affiliated with Warner Music Canada right now. Like he's like blowing up like crazy too. And like you've done like his like videos for a bit too. Marshall Dane, like kind of like outside that realm, like
Mhm.
country music, like it's like interesting to see too. And like, even like up and coming artists like Gen 64 and I think also Keep in Touch. Like I was like
Mhm.
seeing like some of the stuff too. And it's like interesting too, like how their styles kind of interact, but it still has that same effect, that same style, Ollie being more like focused on him, like within like the wide angles, within like the
Mhm.
close-ups too, with Gen 64, like all over the place, more like a fisheye type camera and all that, and then also Marshall like Dane and all that, very like simplified, very basic and all that
Mhm.
too. And then keep in touch, like very interesting, like with like the wide angles too, and like everything else too. So it's like interesting to see like from what you're bringing and like how the color grading like is like also like very important too and all.
Yeah, it really is. Like every artist has their own style, and like you kind of learn one thing good about producing is you really learn how to work with different directors, different styles. You realize what director is good for this. Like some artists will kind of give you an idea of what they're looking for, and then you kind of find your guys that does that correctly. Like the guy that does all the Ollie videos, and they're mainly produced by Ryan Cowan. He usually pulls on those ones, but Brendan Bernard's the director for that, and like he's a very signature style. Definitely can go out there, but like what you're working with, like in the sense of like Brendan really does those great clean wides, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, very inspirational. I find to his videos, like I don't know, they always have that tone of just like I don't know something bigger, if that makes sense. Like Ollie's very deep in his metaphors and all that stuff. So I find Brendan always goes
Yeah.
well. While I don't know, I'm rambling again. You get different tones. Like everyone has their different
Yeah,
vibes.
exactly.
I haven't produced for this director, but Akil McKenzie, I used to AD for a lot, and he's a lot more showmanship. He's a lot more big
Yeah,
explosions, stuff
exactly.
like that. Like
Yeah.
he's the party, and like Brendan's the poet. If it makes a kind of different
Yeah.
thing right there. Both fantastic. Don't get me wrong, and like definitely they can venture out if they need to. But like when you produce, you eventually learn to realize like
Yeah.
everyone, like I don't know, every director has their own tone, their style, their vibes, like who they work with better versus who work with
Yeah.
less, and all that. So
Definitely. Yeah. I think to close off on the whole like Secodo stuff,
mhm.
like what was like the overall reaction from others like when you guys like released like those like amazing projects or
Mhm.
like even like with the group projects? Have you like what have you like noticed that people like reacted like when they saw those videos?
Damn, I guess it was kind of like not sound cocky, but it definitely was. It did feel nice to finally be like, I don't know, I made it in some ways. Like for so long, you kind of dream of these big projects, and when they finally come out, they're racking up 100,000 views, if not more. I don't know. It's like it's pretty amazing. Like it's also just great being able to call up like family members and be like, "Yo, what happened?" All that. You definitely get some. I don't know, I always find it funny. You definitely get those people reaching out from high school that you weren't always as close with as before, saying like, "Yo, man, if you ever need to get some tickets, Mac, remember back in the day where we sat next to each other at
Yeah.
lunch once?" But I don't know. It kind of was also something for just me personally. Like for so long, you doubt yourself, and then
Yeah.
suddenly, I don't know. That first project comes out. The Valley one was probably the big one. It really made
Yeah.
us go, "Yo, we can do this." And
Yeah.
like Valley, like it was a great experience, but like it's scary working with big executives and labels, all that stuff, and like getting it completed. Kind of thinking of recognition, like it was kind of great. Like you get some old teachers from high school reach out to you, say congrats, and like I don't know, even just like I gotta go back to family. Like I don't know. the arts is always kind of that zone where, you know, your parents kind of like my parents supported me, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but you know, you always get that sense of like they're kind of scared that you're not going to make it in some ways.
Yeah.
And it feels fantastic to finally go like, hey, mom, we did it. Thank you for all the support. Hey, dad,
Yeah.
thanks for all the support. It worked out in the end. So
Yeah,
I don't know, I
no.
guess that's
And
it.
like,
That's it.
it kind of like exemplifies like the growth from there because I feel like even like with the questions I've had, like it is like very like, simplified like on like the growth you've had like as a creative too. And I don't think like we have to explain it, but like the growth has been there and you've noticed like from that start, like when you first
Mhm.
started like with photos, with videos, to working with like multi-level like production and like videography too, and like, knowing these contracts and like interacting with the location, like the DP, the everything else to like the DOs, AOs, everything else too. It's
Mhm.
amazing to kind of like see from there and all that.
Mhm. Yeah. You really realize it takes an army to make a film.
Yeah, no, most definitely.